It must be that time of the year, folks. The certified NCAA bracketologist is in to help you guys with your 2014 March Madness tournament pools and brackets. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into the annual March Madness Bracketology show here on the Calamac 94 YouTube channel. Cal McClure, a certified bracketologist, joining you here from Studio 171 in San Diego. That gentleman in the hangout, the other certified bracketologist, is Chris Mancy from the Aiden Hart Studios up in Anaheim, California. Chris, good evening and welcome to the Bracketology show, man. How pumped are you for March Madness, man?
I'm so pumped up. I'm ready for March Madness.
Well, everyone, it is by far the best 2 to 3 weeks of every sports fan's lives. It's when you print out all the brackets, you do all the office pulls, and you go from there, folks, for the most exhilarating, heart-pounding, just a lot of words, folks, that cannot be put into, cannot describe what March Madness really is all about, folks. Here's how the show works, folks. We do this every year, where we will basically break down the entire bracket for you folks, give you guys good analysis about the teams and stuff. Then we will basically do a bracket for you folks. How you guys can get involved with the show, folks? You can ask us live Q&A like normal here on most of our shows here on either the LA Sparks Network or the Angels Baseball Network. But again, there's a black icon right down here where my finger is at. You can click on that icon. It'll redirect you folks to a new page where you can watch the show live, but also ask us questions regarding the brackets and also our thoughts about the teams involved in the tournament. You can do that as well, folks. And also, you can also tweet to us as well during the show at Calamac3, that is at CALLANMAC with the number 3, or at Woody2710, that is at Woody2710. Folks, March Madness works like this. It is about a 2 to 3 week tournament of 68 teams to determine the basketball champion in NCAA Men's Division I basketball. Women's also do it too. We'll have our show for them tomorrow night on the LA Sparks 365 Network with myself and Chris about this time tomorrow night. But folks, if you need brackets, plenty of places to get it, folks. ESPN.com, CBSSports.com, any sort of gambling website will have brackets. Or as Chris has in his hands, the LA Times, your newspaper, folks, will also have the bracket, folks. Chris, show the fans. Yeah, there it is. The bracket will also be, folks, in your newspaper today and tomorrow as well. And also, if you're going to be doing the women's bracket like myself, it'll be in there tomorrow as well. Or you can be like me, folks, normally have the paper. Couldn't get it today, though, because they took out my newsstand here in my house. But you can also go online and download it from any other website, folks. You can go in there, just download the bracket, and you can go from there as well. You can also go to my good friends at printyourbrackets.com. They can also, as well, folks, make you, you can also buy one of these for about $2 with shipping, and you can buy one and have it hanging in your office or in your classroom or anywhere like that, and you can follow along with the tournament as normal. Okay, Chris, let's get rolling here on the NCAA March Madness Bracketology show, man. 68 teams with 4 spots up for grabs in the tournament. We'll begin, Chris, though, with the number 1 seeds this year. Florida, Virginia, Arizona, Chris, and right now the team that everyone is keeping an eye on right now, Chris, Wichita State. Chris, what are you thinking? What are you thinking about right now with these top 4 teams right now, between the Gators, the Cavaliers, the Wildcats, and above all, Chris, the Wichita State Shockers?
Unbelievable season. I think they'll move on, but I think Wichita State going undefeated. I don't know. They might Cinderella season might come to an end on the first round.
Chris, that is the talking point right now of the entire tournament field, folks. Is Wichita State if you even bother having to go all the way, Chris? Now remember, Chris, the Shockers are trying to do something, man, that has not been done since 1991. They are the first team since UNLV to carry a 34-0 record in a tournament. If that's not big enough pressure, man, they have to go through a rough road if they do get there, man. Between other teams in their region, which includes Kentucky, Kansas State, St. Louis, Duke, Texas, and Michigan. So it's not the easiest of paths to get to the Final Four, carrying that 34-0 burden of that record on their shoulders right now.
Yep, agreed. Tough task to get there.
Very tough task for me, folks. So again, folks, how to get involved here again, you can right now, if you are with us here, we're going to be filling out a live bracket to ourselves here, folks, either on paper or in Chris's case in the LA Times. But again, you can snag a bracket off of the internet somewhere and join the fun, folks. And also, if you want to also as well ask us Q&A or tweet to us as well during the Bracketology show. Okay, Chris, let's get moving here finally with talk about the tournament. Again, it's probably the only tournament that I will tune in to watch nonstop for the entire 2 weeks. And I've had problems in the past trying to keep up with the tournament, Chris, of course, because of school when I was in my younger days here. Of my 19 going on 20 years in May. But Chris, ready to roll here, man. Let's get rolling here, Chris, with the playing games. Now, a lot of people don't really count the playing games because it's like, whatever. But now, Chris, you have to kind of put these into proportion here because you're talking about, 4 games with 8 teams that are worthy of getting into that last spot in the tournament, Chris. The first game, by the way, folks, all the playing games will be featured tomorrow and tomorrow and Wednesday on the network. So tomorrow, Chris, the first game we're looking at here will be for the number 16 spot in the South Regional, which will feature Albany and Mount St. Mary's, Chris. Now, Albany is coming off of a season that was fairly well from what I can remember, at least. I'm not really a big avid viewer of the smaller D1 schools that are on the East Coast. But historically, Chris, Albany has gotten into the tournaments, man, but they haven't really shown very well. And on top of that, Chris, Mount St. Mary's has been one of those Cinderella teams in the past few years, man. What do you think here? Albany, Mount St. Mary's, two teams that are kind of those under-the-radar teams, Chris, that could be the next Florida Gulf Coast perhaps from last year, man. But what are you thinking right now at this point in time?
I'm thinking Albany probably.
Albany would be the bet because they're probably more well-known. Well, actually, both schools are very well-known, at least in regards to basketball. But I think with Albany getting in, I think either somewhere in their conference tournament this year, man, I'm leaning towards Albany myself. So we might as well go ahead and just circle in Albany. But again, folks, also to be known here, we're not going to be giving guys the perfect bracket for the $1 billion with Warren Buffett. Just to let you guys know. I mean, we're not going to be winning every game. So I mean, we are certified in bracketology, but we're not going to win every single game. So if you want to go against the grain, you can go ahead and do so as well. Chris, marquee game. Well, these playing games really aren't that marquee, but sort of a strange team got in here. Cal Poly San Luis Obispo snuck in, Chris, after winning the Big West tournament this year. After having a very dismal record overall, a losing record, they'll play Texas Southern out of the SWAC conference. Chris, there's been a lot of stuff in regards to the committee, leaving out a team like Florida State, Green Bay got left out, some schools like that, in wake of Texas Southern and Cal Poly getting in, man. What's your take here? I mean, Cal Poly got in. Chris, I know that they won the Big West tournament in the automatic berth, Chris, but they had a losing record, though. Do you think the committee may have screwed this up here, putting in a team with a losing record in Cal Poly San Luis Obispo in this tournament at all, or no?
Yeah, I think they probably screwed up Cal Poly, and I think they're probably going to lose to Texas Southern.
I mean, you would kind of hate to see that happen where a team that, went through so much in the season that, wins their conference tournament, but above all, they lose because of the record that they play in, Chris. I'm going to go with Texas Southern as well because I actually think that, there was better teams that the committee snubbed that has to go play in the NIT, so I'm going with Texas Southern here. I mean, I know they're a California school, Chris, and Cal Poly, but, I just don't think they were worthy, though, of the NCAA tournament, in my view.
Yep, agree.
Chris, I got a pretty intriguing matchup here for the 12th spot in the Midwestern region here. North Carolina State and Xavier. NC State, Chris, gave Duke a run for their money in the ACC semifinals of the tournament. They've normally been, Chris, a worthy competitor in the first early rounds of the tournament. They knocked out San Diego State last year in the first game. They beat them by 10 last year, as a matter of fact, as well. And then, Chris, Xavier, out of the Atlantic 10 Conference, man, they've always been a juggernaut in the A10 between them and Akron and a lot of other schools, man. So I'm kind of torn here, but I think NC State, with the ACC credibility and that track record, man, I think they're going to get in. I think they're going to be getting into the big dance this year, I think. But what do you think here, NC State or Xavier?
Probably.
Kind of tough to decide, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe I'm lowering towards maybe NC State, probably. I'm going with it.
Chris, I only say NC State because of their track record. Again, they play in the Atlantic Coast Conference. So you're talking about Duke, UNC, schools like that, Kentucky, teams like that. Where Xavier, Chris, it's one of those, lesser-known conferences. The Atlantic 10 is not very well-known as a basketball juggernaut, which is why I would say NC State. But I think it would be Chris, I hope Xavier would prove me wrong here. Because they've been good for many, many years. Mm-hmm. I think NC State wins, though, but it would be nicer to see Xavier shut me up, though.
Yeah.
And then, Chris, the other game that I think is going to be a good one, too, which is for the 11th spot in the Midwest between the Tennessee Volunteers and the Iowa Hawkeyes. Chris, it looks like ever since Bruce Pearl has left Tennessee that they have sort of not been the same Tennessee team of the old, where they would be in the Final Four, Elite Eight, or always a good team in the tournament. Where playing in a tough conference too, Chris, like the SEC, where you have to deal with LSU and A&M and schools like that, it's going to be a tough tournament to get through. But also, Chris, Iowa, Big 12, where you're dealing with Kansas and Kansas State and schools like that. This is going to be a game where I'm torn on too, Chris. But hopefully Tennessee has some of that old magic from the early 2000s with Bruce Pearl still in their back pocket. If not, Chris, it'll be a good battle. But I hope and I think Tennessee wins this game.
Yep, agreed. Tennessee.
As much as Iowa is a good school, man, I don't know about that one. All right, Chris. Now we got our playing game set up here. You can go ahead, folks, and if you're following along here, and penciling your teams here for the spot in the tournament right now, which there is plenty of them right now. So, Chris, right now we'll start off here with Florida, the overall #1 in their regional, which is the South Regional, up against either Albany or Mount St. Mary's. Chris, give me a break on this one.
Yep, Florida. But just what happened last season, won't be surprised if another.
Chris, that's what everyone's worried about here. But at this point in time, man, give me a break. I'm going to go with Florida in this one as well. And I think basically, Chris, everyone but anyone playing in Warren Buffett's bracket challenge for $1 billion would pick someone like that. Chris, 8 and 9 spot in the South Regional. Colorado and Pittsburgh. Colorado finished 23-11 this past year, got the 8 spot. Where Pitt, coming off a 25-9 season, Chris, got the 9 spot. Normally, Chris, I normally base my selection off of either the seed or the record. I've been torn in a lot of my pools here to go with Pitt because of their overall record of having 2 more wins than the Buffaloes. But then again, Chris, you go by the seed. Colorado got them by 1, 8-9. So right now it's tough to judge, depending on the quality wins and losses or the RPI of their schedule. You know, I'm kind of leaning towards Pitt due to their overall record, though. But what are you thinking here?
I think I remember last season. I put Pitt. I think I remember they lost. I forgot.
I think you're right, because I think Pitt lost to somebody that wasn't very worthy. You know, I don't see it happening again, though, Chris. I think Pitt might win this one here, so I'm going to go ahead and write Pitt in on my bracket. I don't know about you, though.
Yeah, with the record, I'll gotta go with Pitt.
Normally it's either basing it. Most times I base it off seed or base it off record. Chris, this will be a pretty intriguing matchup here. Not really necessarily intriguing, but it's going to be in my city of San Diego, California, here at Viejas Arena. Number 5, Virginia Commonwealth. Chris, the Rams, who have been sort of that one team that has sort of gotten the respect it finally deserves, playing in a very under the radar conference again on the East Coast. They've been in the tournament for the past years. Got to the Final Four 2 seasons ago, Chris. They're playing another no value added school that got in, Stephen F. Austin, out of another low key conference, Chris. But surprisingly though, here this is where it might be salty. Stephen F. Austin, Chris, went 31-2. VCU finished 26-8, but somehow Austin got the 12 seed and not the 5 seed. I've said VCU in all of my groups. I don't know here though. What do you think?
I think this might be an upset, and I'm thinking FC Austin.
I think so too. I know that I picked the Commonwealth a lot of my brackets here, but at least on this show, man, you know, it's hard to bet against the favorite here, record-wise. At least. Now, I know most people, at least Chris, that I know of, at least, have already put VCU in. I'm one of them, and I think every one of my ESPN pools online. But this one here, at least, I'm going to go. I need one upset here because I think I've repeated all my brackets. I think except for maybe a couple of them. I'm going to go with Stephen F. Austin in this one. I don't know about yourself.
Yeah, same thing too. Because my record 31-2. I think they should have been the 5th seed. So picking FC Austin.
Same here. Then Chris, next matchup here is the UCLA Bruins playing in San Diego as a 26-8 team as a 4th seed, taking on Chris, the Tulsa Golden Hurricane, who also had a good season as well, coming off of their conference tournament victory this year in their conference. But Chris, UCLA though, what a way that they won the Pac-12 tournament up in Los Angeles. Again, winning it this year at the buzzer against Arizona. But what do you think though here? UCLA's has a +5 win differential and a +8 seeding as well here advantage. Gotta pick a California school, man. Come on now. Give me the Bruins.
Yep.
All right, so we're going to go with UCLA on that one. Next matchup, Chris, we're going to go here to the Ohio State Buckeyes at number 6 and 25-9 against the 23-10 Dayton Flyers at the 11th spot, Chris. Chris, Ohio State has not been their same program either. A lot of the programs, Chris, that are normally the powerhouses have not been their usual selves, and Ohio State is the same one. They had a terrible stretch of games, Chris, where they were ranked 1 or 2, and they lost key games to not very good opponents, man. So we're talking Ohio State here, who's +2 in the win column, and also a +5 in the seed column. Chris, what do you think here, Ohio State or the Dayton Flyers?
Tough one.
Tough one. I would agree, man, but you know what? I would probably go with Ohio State because of the win of. I mean, okay, it's +2 on the win column, man, but they're +5 in the seed column. So Ohio State, I think, is going to win this game.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go with the Buckeyes in that one. Next game, Chris, will be the number 3 Syracuse Orange, number 3 in the South Regional, 27-5 overall, taking on the 14th seeded Eastern Michigan at 23-9. Ooh, that's a big gap, man, between wins and seeding. Plus as well, Chris, Michigan State +4 in the loss column too, which doesn't help as well. Syracuse, Chris, also not been themselves either. Lost a critical game at Duke this season. But above all, man, Jim Boeheim has been by far probably maybe coach of the year, Chris. He's done so much for Syracuse since he's come there. Of course, playing that 2-3 zone defense is never good for any opponent. Syracuse, I think, over Eastern Michigan in that matchup, I believe.
Yeah, Syracuse.
That'll set up a projectedly matchup with Ohio State in the second round of the tournament. Then, Chris, this should be a pretty good matchup here. Number 7, UNM, New Mexico, the Mountain West Conference champs. Number 7, 27-6 will take on the 21-12 Stanford Cardinal at the 10th spot. Chris, UNM coming off beating San Diego State for the Mountain West title. But, Chris, surprisingly, San Diego State was ranked higher than UNM, who won the conference title. State got 4, they got 7. And above all, Chris, they're playing Stanford, who are not really known as a basketball school. They're not really more so, Chris, a football school, just like USC and Duke are. Or actually, Duke actually is more of a basketball school, I should say. But what are you thinking here, man? Right now, UNM owns a +6 in the win column, +3 in the seeding. But again, Chris, Stanford is could be a thorn in their side, and I think a lot of SEC fans are probably picking against UNM because of them beating San Diego State at the conference tournament this past Saturday.
Yeah, but I'm picking New Mexico.
All right, you know what? I'm going to have to go with them too, just because I think Stanford wins as one of a few of my other pools, Chris. But I think UNM will own them. I think by a long shot. Then the final matchup for the South Regional will be the number 2 seeded Rock Chalk Kansas Jayhawks, coming off of a 2 seed this year, 24-9. Chris taking on Eastern Kentucky. Chris, who also owns a identical 24-9 record, but of all, Chris, plus 13 in the seed category as well. But Chris, Kansas, in my view, is by far the most vulnerable 2 seed, at least, that might be on the verge of upset here, because they have not been the normal Kansas Jayhawks. They have had a lot of big losses. All lost San Diego State this year on their home court that ended their 69-game home court winning streak against non-conference opponents this past season. They've had a lot of losses to teams that they should have beaten, like Kansas State and a few teams like that. But Chris, I think in my view, it's just the name and the historical presence of Kansas is what I think wins this game, and I think Kansas should have no problem winning this game against Eastern Kentucky.
I don't know. I'm leaning towards Eastern Kentucky because they're not been the same, and I'm thinking probably gonna be an upset here.
Yeah, you know what? I basically have written Kansas in all my brackets too, man. I need an upset here, and I am praying for one too. But I think I'm going to go with you and say Eastern Kentucky in this matchup. Okay, Chris, Midwest Regional it looks like, or the Eastern Regional. Chris, can you, Chris, I don't have the regionals on my bracket. Can you tell me what region we're in now with Virginia?
Eastern Regional.
Right.
Yeah, Eastern Regional.
Okay. So the East Regional will feature, Chris, the first game between the Virginia Cavaliers, overall number 1 in that conference, Chris, taking on Coastal Carolina in their first matchup this year. Chris, Virginia coming off upset, beating Duke in the ACC Finals this year of the tournament, owning a 28-6 record this year. Chris, Coastal Carolina 21-12. What do you think here? Cavs all the way?
Yep.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, that's basically one of those other give me a break kind of games. So Virginia in that contest. Chris, 8-9 game in the East Regional. Memphis 23-9 against 24-8 George Washington. Chris, this is another one of those games that might lead you the wrong way here. Okay, Memphis we know has been well known as well with their past of John Calipari and Derrick Rose back in those days. But Chris, George Washington, little-known college here, 24-9, owns 1 more win than Memphis, -1 though in the seed column. Though, Chris, are you saying upset like I am, George Washington over Memphis? Do you think?
Yep, George Washington.
I'm gonna go with. Got to go with the first president of the U.S. Come on now, got to give me George Washington in this matchup here. 5-12 game, Chris, Cincinnati 27-6 up against number 12 seeded Harvard University from the Ivy League, 26-4, 12 seed. Chris, I have picked Cincinnati in all but one of my brackets. Give me the nerds at Harvard. Give me Jeremy Lin and his past. Give me Harvard in this contest. What do you think?
I'm leaning the other way, going to Cincinnati.
You know, I don't blame you, though. Cincinnati's had a roller coaster of a season this year, man. They've been very, very solid. You know what, man? I need upsets, though. I really don't have any. Chris, basically, I'll show you, too, later on after the show, that I basically have identical brackets, except I've changed my Final Four, maybe. But they're basically all the same, so I need to mix it up a little bit here to not look so much the same. Chris, 4-13 game in the East will be Michigan State 26-8. Chris up against number 13 seeded Delaware, 25-9. So you're looking at a +1 for Michigan in the win column. You know, a +1 as well in the loss column for Delaware, plus the seed. But Chris, wow, Delaware, not really known as a school that is really well known, except well, Elena Del Don going to Chicago last year in the WNBA draft. We'll get to that tomorrow night though on the women's show. But Chris, what do you think here though? Small possibility that Tom Izzo gets upset, or no? I mean, I don't think so, but it could very well happen. I'm gonna go with Sparty here.
Yep, Michigan State.
Absolutely, would not have it any other way. 6-11 game, Chris. UNC, the Tar Heels getting in this year as a 6 seed at 23-9 up against Chris. 23-11 Providence, who upset Creighton to win the Big East title this past weekend. Chris, North Carolina has not been their normal selves either. Roy Williams has done all he could to keep, can to keep UNC afloat, man. I don't know though about Providence. I don't know if they can really stop North Carolina. They've always been UNC has always been a tournament favorite for many years. You know what? As much as I would love to see Providence win, I got to go with the Heels.
I don't know. That upset on Creighton, I don't know. I'm leaning towards Providence. I'm choosing Providence.
Or are you doing that as a Duke fan though?
No, I'm just doing it.
Okay, just want to make sure you're not being biased here. Chris, number 3, number 14 seed here between Iowa State and North Carolina Central. Who the hell is that? Sorry to anyone out there that's a North Carolina Central fan. But Chris, 3 versus 14 here. Iowa State 26-7. But hey, why did I say why the hell, Chris? NC Central 28-5. They're a +2 over Iowa State here. Sorry I said who the hell are they? Give me NC Central. I'll make it up to you guys and pick you guys to play North Carolina here. What do you think, man?
Yep, NC Central.
And then anyone out there that's an NC Central fan can give me a bunch of crap on Twitter after they beat Iowa State this year. Chris, 7-10 game in the South Regional. UConn and St. Joseph's. Chris, UConn 26-8. St. John's 24-9. It'll be St. Joseph, I should say, folks. Chris, what do you think here? UConn, up and down again. New conference, didn't do so hot this year on the men's side of things. Well, we all know about the girls, so we'll get to that tomorrow night, though. But, Chris, what do you think here? Connecticut, +2 in the win column, +3 in the seeding. What do you think here?
Give me UConn.
UConn, here we go. All right, UConn in this matchup over St. Joseph's. Chris, last game in the East Regional here. Number 2, Villanova. Number 15, Milwaukee. Chris, Villanova could have easily been a 1 seed in a tournament, but I'll take a 2 seed for them, Chris. They are a +7 here over Milwaukee, while Milwaukee is a -8 in loss differential here, Chris. Plus the seeding doesn't help either. Give me Nova over Milwaukee this year.
Yeah, give me a break. This Villanova.
Give me a break. Okay, Chris, we will shift gears now to the West Regional out here in San Diego and a lot of other places, folks, between San Diego, Spokane, Washington, and a lot of other places. Chris, first game of the West Regional in San Diego, California here. Number 1, Arizona, 30-4 against 19-win Weber State. Give me a break.
Yeah, give me a break.
So we'll go with Arizona there, folks. Then, Chris, 8-9 game in the West Regional. Number 8, Gonzaga out of the West Coast Conference, 28-6. Chris, up against number 9, Oklahoma State. Chris, it was also a roller coaster for OK State this year. Marcus Smart's played very well. He's been already looked at by teams in the NBA during the lottery this year. But, Chris, Gonzaga is always a good tournament team. They pretty much own the West Coast Conference every year, it seems like, except for a few. +7 in the win column. OK State -6 in the loss column, Chris. Zaga over the Cowboys. What do you think here?
Yep, Gonzaga.
Yeah, I think Gonzaga's got enough firepower to get him past there to set up Zaga in Arizona. 5-12 game, Chris. Number 5, Oklahoma, 23-9 against number 12, North Dakota State. Chris, surprisingly, North Dakota State also +2 in wins against Oklahoma. Oklahoma, Chris, is -3. They have 3 more losses than North Dakota State, Chris. I smell upset here. What do you think?
Yep. Sorry, Oklahoma. Smell an upset.
I smell an upset as well. Then, Chris, number 4, 13, San Diego State getting in, 29-4, up against number 13, New Mexico State. Not UNM, New Mexico State. Chris, San Diego State, +3 in the win column. New Mexico -5, 5 more losses than San Diego State. But, Chris, the one X factor here, though, that might beat SDSU this year is the center for New Mexico, Chris, who stands a towering 7'5" and weighs 335. But then again, Chris, it's a team game here. Give me my Aztecs over the Aggies.
Aztecs.
Thank you very much. Chris, 6-11 game here. Baylor and Nebraska. Chris, Nebraska had a very thrilling season this year, getting back on the map as a basketball school here. But Chris, they're running into a brick wall here of 24-11 Baylor, who's been a very solid team in the Big 12 as of late. Baylor, Chris, owns them by 7 or 8 wins, and Nebraska has 1 more loss. But Chris, I think Baylor might destroy Nebraska with that record. I pick Nebraska in a few of my brackets, Chris, but I'm going to go with Baylor in this contest, though.
Yeah, Baylor.
All right, so we want now, Chris, to the 3-14 game here between the Creighton Blue Jays, 26-7, against the 14-seeded Louisiana Lafayette Raging Cajuns at 23-11. Chris, there is no better player in college basketball that does not get talked about, that does not get the respect or credit / gets talked about a lot, like Wiggins or Parker or Smart, like Doug McBuckets McDermott. The guy's probably going to be the player of the year for NCAA, Chris. His last year at Creighton, 3 wins more, 4 more losses for the Cajuns. Give me the Blue Jays here, man. And plus, Doug McDermott cannot be stopped right now.
Yep.
So the Blue Jays move on to play Baylor, in my view, at least. Chris, 7 versus 10 game here. Oregon, 23-9, 7 seed against number 10 BYU, 23-11. Chris, BYU coming off losing to Gonzaga. Again, another productive season, Chris. BYU owns 2 more losses than the Ducks. I think I know we're going to go with this one here.
Give me my Ducks.
I think Oregon's got a very good chance. I'll pencil in 2 here as Oregon beating BYU. Then finally, Chris, number 2 seed Wisconsin, 26-7 versus number 15 American, 20-12. Wow, American University. Never heard of these guys, so give me Wisconsin.
Yep. And I won't be surprised if they win and then we get all the hate on Twitter.
If there's any American University fans again, we apologize, folks, but we've never heard of you guys at least, so give us some crap after you guys beat Wisconsin in the first round. Okay, Chris, we are slated right now to have Wichita State in the Midwest Regional, Chris, who's the overall number 1, 34-0. In our view, at least taking on Texas Southern or Cal Poly, Chris. Yeah, good luck with that one, Cal Poly or Texas Southern. Give me Wichita State.
Yeah, just won't be surprised if it's the other way around.
Okay, Chris, 8-9 game in the Midwest. Going to be a good one here. Kentucky, number 8, up against number 9, Kansas State. Whoa, this is going to be a doozy, folks. 24-10, Kentucky. K-State 2012. But, Chris, I'm leaning towards K-State, though. They have really been the one team in the Big 12 I've been watching a lot because they have been a very tenacious, tough team to play. They beat Kansas this year as well, of the many teams that beat Jayhawks this year, Chris. Kentucky's got the +4 in the win column and the seed by 1, but Chris, I think K-State pulls a little bit of a shocker here and beats Kentucky, though. What do you think?
I'm leaning towards Kentucky still.
You can, but you know what? I really have enjoyed watching K-State play, man. So I'm gonna go with the Wildcats in this contest. 5-12 game, Chris, will be St. Louis either against NC State or Xavier. Hey, Chris, the Billikens were a team that a lot of people had under the radar that got very far last year. They got all the way to the Elite Eight before they got knocked out that past season. I picked against them a few times, though, but I think St. Louis is going to win this contest, though. I don't know about you, though, but what do you think?
St. Louis.
Yeah, I think St. Louis is going to have you know what, they could easily get back to the Elite Eight if all the dominoes fall in place. Then, Chris, number 4 seeded Louisville will take on number 13 Manhattan. Louisville 29-5, Manhattan 25-7. Chris, as it may seem like it's a give me a break game, but man, that's a pretty close record right there between Louisville and Manhattan. Between 29 and 25, it's a +4 for Louisville, and a -2 in the loss column though. But I still think Louisville's gonna win this game though.
Yep.
So Louisville gets our shot there. Then Chris, 6 versus 11 here will be the Massachusetts Minutemen, UMass, who got a 6 seed up against either Tennessee or Iowa. Chris, I have picked the playing game winner a few times here, but I don't think I can do it again. Because UMass has been a pretty good team this year. They play in a very small conference up there in the New England area, man. But 24-8 is pretty good for a school that really no one really talks about, though, man. I think UMass is going to win this game, though.
Yep. Agreed.
Then, Chris, the next 2 matches here: number 3 seed Duke up against 14 seeded Mercer. Chris, though, don't go to the bias just yet, man, because here's a big problem for you. Both teams have identical 26-8 records, and I picked Duke in all my groups. I gotta go against Duke and pick Mercer.
Give me my Blue Devil.
We'll see what happens. Probably Duke's gonna win, but Chris, considering Mercer's has not really been heard of either, if they consider they have an identical record as Duke, it's pretty impressive. So, and plus, again, I need to change my bracket a little bit here, so I gotta go with Mercer in this one as well. 7 and 10 seed game, Chris. Texas 23-10, number 7, up against number 11 seeded Arizona State University. Coming in at 21-11. Chris, what do you think here? Longhorns or Sun Devils? What do you think here? I'm leaning towards ASU, but somebody tells me Texas might win, but I'm still leaning towards those Sun Devils, though, to come up big in the tournament this year.
Since one of my got accepted to Arizona State, I'm having Arizona State gonna win. Sun Devils.
I'm picking the Sun Devils too. My uncle Rick McClurg, Pac-8, all Pac-8 wrestler at ASU. Give me those Sun Devils now. And then Chris, number 2 seed Michigan, up against number 15 seeded Warford. Chris, I think Michigan State might make this game warful to watch, I think. No pun intended there, Chris. 25-8, but Chris, don't sleep on it, though. Warford 20-12, though, pretty close. But give me them damn Wolverines over Warford, which this game might turn into being a Warford game to watch, if you ask me.
Yep, rooting for picking Daniel's team, Michigan.
Okay, Chris, we'll move on now to the next round of tournament here, with our projected matchups here, folks, at least. Chris, Florida and Pitt. Does anyone even have a chance of beating Florida this year? Give me the Gators in this contest.
So wait, do I just mark in the semis Florida?
It depends on who you. It depends on. Let's see.
You already have circles, so then this one has nothing in there.
Then you start writing them in.
Okay.
Okay, Chris. So now we got Stephen F. Austin up against UCLA. Chris, I smell another upset here. If it's Stephen F. Austin and UCLA, I smell upset. The record-wise, Chris, 31-2 Stephen F. Austin, UCLA 26-8. Give me Stephen F. Austin at least go one more round before they get knocked out by Florida.
Yeah.
You know what? We need a team like Florida Gulf Coast in here, and I think that they could be one of those teams. I think. Chris, good one here. If you projected it this way, Ohio State, Syracuse. Woohoo, boy! Gonna be a good game right here, Chris. Syracuse 27-5, owning a +2 over Ohio State in the win column, man. Give me the orange in this one, man. Gonna be a good game, but give me Q's in this game.
Yeah.
By the way, folks, a quick NBA note here, quickly here. The Clippers' 11-game winning streak has ended tonight. They lost to the Nuggets tonight to Denver, 110-100. The Clippers' 11-game winning streak is officially over, keeping the Sockers' 48-game winning streak safe as the all-time longest winning streak in U.S. pro sports history. Chris, projected right now, New Mexico and Eastern Kentucky. Oh, sorry, Eastern Kentucky, but give me the Lobos in this contest. Okay, Chris, shifting gears to the East Regional now between Virginia and George Washington. George Washington had a good little run there, but give me the Cavaliers in this game, though.
Yeah.
All right, then in the next matchup, Chris, between Harvard and Michigan State. Chris, don't go to the Sparty right away. Record-wise right now, Chris, Harvard 26-4, Michigan State 26-8. Do I smell a Ivy League schooling of Michigan State by Harvard University? I think it might happen.
Good.
Yeah.
Give me Harvard. I'm taking Harvard. May not happen, but hey, got to be optimistic here. Then, Chris, Cinderella story here, UNC and North Carolina Central. Chris, we got upsets all over the place here. Give me NC Central. They got a better record than the damn Tar Heels. Give me Central here. Come on now. And also make it up to those people out there that made fun of if there's anyone watching from North Carolina Central. I make it up to you guys here. You're going to get past and beat the Tar Heels for me. Then, Chris, UConn and Villanova. This will be a good game to watch if this really plays through. UConn 26-8 and Villanova 28-4. Chris, I think Nova is just head and shoulders ahead of UConn, so give me the Wildcats in this contest.
Yep.
All right, Chris, shifting gears now to the West region, Gonzaga, Arizona. I have this one as one of the main games I'm watching. If this happens here, if this really happens, Chris, pretty close team. 30-4 Arizona, 28-6 Gonzaga, but I think it's all about the Wildcats here. Give me the Wildcats over the Bulldogs, man. What do you think? Pretty close, though. What do you think?
I don't know. It's not enough that.
This is the game that's kind of been tugging at me in all the groups I've been put into on ESPN.com and other things. It's so tough. You got a 30-win team, Chris, and a 28-win team. Just, I don't know where to go, man. You know what? Screw it. I'm going all in. Give me the Bulldogs. Give me Gonzaga.
I'm going to Gonzaga.
All right, Chris, then you have North Dakota State playing San Diego State. Pretty closely matched here, man, but you got to give me my Aztecs here to at least get to the next round. Give me the Aztecs over North Dakota State.
Yep, Aztecs.
All right, Chris, then a good matchup here. Baylor and Creighton. Creighton, again, 26-7. Baylor, 24-11. I can't bet against my man, Doug McDermott. Give me Baylor and McBuckets. Give me Creighton.
Creighton.
Absolutely. And then, Chris, number 7, Oregon up against number 2, Wisconsin. Pretty closely matched here, man, but the seed, in my view, beats. But it's the overall seed matchup, 2 versus 7. Give me them Badgers over your Ducks. Sorry, man, but give me Wisconsin.
Yep, sorry. My Ducks are going to lose.
Okay, Chris, to the Midwest Regional with now, projectedly right now, Chris, 35-0 Wichita State up against K-State. Does the road end for the Shockers at 35-1, or 34-1, I should say? Or do they get past the Wildcats and move on to the next round?
Nope, it's going to end.
Think it's going to end?
Yep.
Yeah, you know what? Sorry, K-State, but I want to see history here. I'm going with Wichita State in this matchup here. Then, Chris, you got St. Louis and Louisville, 5 versus 4 here. 29-5 versus 26-6. Chris, I picked St. Louis a couple times here, but Louisville with the record, I think they sneak past in this game. Give me the Cardinals in this contest.
Yep.
Then, Chris, number 6, UMass up against either Duke or Mercer here, Chris. I pick Mercer, you pick Duke. You know what? I got to go with Mercer or the winner of that Duke-Mercer game because of the record-wise over UMass. So give me what I picked. At least give me Mercer at least to move on to one more game.
Duke.
Yeah. Duke or Mercer over UMass in that game. And then, Chris, Arizona State up against Michigan. Good luck, Sun Devils, but give me the Wolverines.
Yep. All
right, Chris, hop back over now to the South Regional, Florida, Stephen F. Austin. Give me Florida.
Yep, Florida.
All right, then, Chris, Syracuse and New Mexico. Record-wise, Chris, UNM 27-6. Syracuse 27-5. It might be Chris Hughes wins, but not by a large margin.
Yep.
Okay, Chris, then you got Virginia and Harvard playing here. Sorry, Harvard. Give me the Cavaliers.
Yep.
Then, Chris, the Cinderella team, NC Central and Villanova. Sorry, NC Central, but it comes to an end right there. I think Nova wins that contest.
Yep. Quickly as well, the record-wise, Chris, Nova would have, in my view at least, Nova wins that game by 1 loss. They were 20-4. NC Central was 28-5. Okay, Chris, in the West Regional, Gonzaga and San Diego State. Gonzaga 28-6. San Diego State 29-4, Chris. One more time. Give me San Diego State. Come on now. Yep, Aztecs. Let's go.
All right, Chris. Then you got Creighton and Wisconsin.
Creighton again, 26-7. Wisconsin, 26-7. Chris, even Steven. McDermott is your X factor, and he lifts them to victory. Give me the Blue Jays over the Badgers.
Yep.
All right, Chris. Wichita State. At least I have Wichita State, Louisville. Right now, I'm thinking it, man. I think Wichita State exits out right. You know what, though? I don't know if they exit out, but give me Wichita State one more time.
Yeah.
And then, Chris, the last one, Duke or Mercer against Michigan. If it's Duke, they could probably hang, but I think the Wolverines win the game, though.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, for the Elite Eight now, South Regional, Florida and Syracuse, 32-2 up against, right now, 27-5. Syracuse bombs out, I think, and I think the Gators chomp them up, and I think the Gators win that game to go to the Final Four.
Yeah.
And then, Chris, Virginia or Villanova? I've been looking forward to this game for a long time. 28-6 against 28-4. Chris, upset. Give me Villanova here to beat the Cavaliers.
Yeah.
Then, Chris, the game that I cannot make my mind on still. San Diego State versus Creighton. Both teams good this year. Do I dare say, Chris? Aztecs to the Final Four?
Yeah, why not? Let's do it.
You know what? As much as Chris, as I love Doug McDermott as one of my favorite players, and I also do like Creighton too, Chris, because I was offered a scholarship there to play baseball. Got to go with my hometown boys. I got to go with my Aztecs. Somehow they get to the Final Four this year to play for possibly a national championship, if that really does happen. But San Diego State to the Final Four. And then, Chris, Wichita State, Michigan. What do you think, man?
Come on, Daniel. Michigan's going to beat Wichita State.
You know what? I have agreed with that for a long time, Chris, and it would be awesome, too, to see Steve Fisher, the head coach of San Diego State, play Michigan. He has not done that. He coached there at Michigan, won a few national titles there. Give me the Wolverines over the Shockers. But I have Wichita State and a few of my other pools going all the way. All right, Chris, the Final Four field. Florida, Nova, San Diego State, and Michigan. First game, Chris, the Gators and the Villanova Wildcats. 32-2 against 28-4, Chris. What do you think? Let's talk about it here, Chris. Again, Florida, 32-28, owning the win column against Villanova. What are you thinking right now?
Florida.
You know what? You can't bet against the team that's running a two-loss season. Give me the Gators in the final game of the tournament. And then, Chris, the most intriguing matchup that I want to see, if it does really happen, the 4-seed San Diego State Aztecs against the 2-seeded Michigan Wolverines, Chris. Do I dare damn say that San Diego State owns a +4 in the win column? Do I dare damn say Aztecs to the title game?
Sorry, Daniel. Aztecs.
Well, Chris, it looks like we're going to have somebody other than the Sockers playing for a championship. I might be crazy, folks. You can give it to me all you want, but give me San Diego State, at least in this bracket. You can go look at my other ones, folks, on ESPN.com. Give me my Aztecs here. Come on now, people. I am that crazy, folks. And then somehow, if this really does happen, Florida, San Diego State in the title game, I can't do it, Chris. The road ends right there. Give me the Florida Gators. Sorry.
I'm doing it. Aztecs.
I can't do it here. I got to go with Florida just because of the record. And I don't think San State could even hang with Florida. It could be over after halftime. It might turn into a WNBA score probably after halftime, perhaps. But we're crazy, folks, for doing this. But again, at least in my view, the Final Four at least will be looking like this, maybe. But then again, I'm in like 25 other pools and brackets. But that is, at least my Final Four at least. But, folks, that is our 2014 NCAA March Madness Bracketology show, folks. You can let us know, and also, folks, let you know, by the way, last year's show, folks, has over 890 views on the YouTube channel, folks. So let's try to get this one to 1,000 quicker than the other one, folks. But again, this has been our 2014 March Madness Bracketology show, folks. Chris, thank you very much for your help, man, and we'll talk to you later on, man, and have fun watching the tournament.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So, folks, until tomorrow night, when we do the women's Bracketology show tomorrow night, have a safe night. Drive home safely. Thank you all, folks, for coming, and good night now. This has been, and this is, the 2014 March Madness, NCAA March Madness Bracketology show here on the Calamac 94 YouTube channel, folks. See you guys later. Goodbye.